Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Absolutely.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Michael Anthony Fos.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Mr. Fos, before you were putting on deferred, you got custody of your children, correct?
Long before,
About a year before,
way more.
2 years before?
than that.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, your mother of your children had custody, and then CPS got involved, and then you,
Sustained.
so, tell me how you got custody of your children.
I got custody of my children, fighting for them for more than about 8 months. While I was doing federal probation, federal classes, at the same time doing state classes and state UAs, I believe is what they said. And they were coexisting with my federal PO at the same time. And I found, and then the judge who, I believe, I don't know the proper name, for the kids, I guess for CPS, that judge at that time in CPS, the state found fit after all my certificates while I was wrestling with federal probations and state agencies at the same time, while working a full-time job, supporting my kids. That they found that I was fit to be the father, and they found fit to terminate the rights of their biological mother.
And, so you have custody, you have your fiance, and, how many households were you supporting after you got on this deferred in April of 2025?
Okay, when I moved in with my grandparents and my uncle, my grandfather's house, I'm sorry, my grandmother passed away. When I moved there, of course, I'm not gonna take advantage of my family, so I'm paying rent there, about $450 to $500 a month. I'm still supporting my kids because that was one of the stipulations, support to dependents. So I'm paying about $300, $400 there for them. Then I'm paying my cell phone bill. Then I'm paying UAs when I go take the test. I gotta pay for the parenting class, $85 off the rip. I did 5 out of 10 classes, hostility classes. The only reason I didn't do the other 5, man, I really tried to knock it out. And I realized that we couldn't do the other 5 is because the other 5, they wanted to do them as a one-on-one, I believe it was. And he said he was gonna call me. But I told him I had to go to work because all these places, and that's not including my food that I was eating on the day.
Right, so here's the thing. The state recommended that you have deferred. What I want to know is you pled true to violation of condition number 2. So I wanted to know why you missed drug testing. You pled true to violation for condition number 4. So I want to know why you missed reporting.
Simple fact, miss. I wasn't paying my restitution. What did it constitute? The $4,000 that I had to pay. I'm paying $2,000 when I filed my taxes, and I told Mr.
But what does that mean about the not taking UAs? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why were you not taking your UAs?
When I stopped reporting, ma'am, I didn't go take the UAs run because I was afraid that I was going to get arrested because he was getting on my butt.
Okay, do I not tell everybody if there's an issue with probation? If you have an issue, let probation know about it, and if they're not addressing it, you can come and address it with the court.
See, yes, ma'am, and
So why didn't you do that?
my assuming, it's plain and simple, my stupidity, assuming, ma'am, I'm not gonna make an excuse. I assume because it's never been, this is the only state thing. In federal, when they tell you you don't do it, it's bye. No ifs, ands, or buts, man. And I was scared. And I was just literally trying to buy time to pay this whole freak off. That's it. There's the whole thing off. You know what I mean? I was working and everything. And I did report after the monitor was off. I did do several UAs after the monitor was off.
And so when was the monitor taken off?
Even that gentleman,
No, when was the monitor removed? Does anyone know?
I can tell that, I really don't know, man.
Defense, do you know when the GPS monitor was removed?
I thought it was, it's either August or September.
State, do you know when it was removed? All right, probation, do you?
July 9th.
Okay, July 9th. So when it was removed in July 9th, were there any missed appointments, or is the first missed appointment in October? Does anyone know that?
Did you in September 2025 and got you was negative.
The last UA was on 9/19/2025, and it was negative.
So it appears that something happened October and November. So does anyone know what happened with him for October?
Your Honor, I think he was trying to explain that when he would go in, his officer was, according to him, putting pressure on him to pay these fees. And, you know, my client is a very verbal person, and, you know, I think there was not a meeting of the minds that this court would never revoke somebody for monies. We don't have debtor's prison. But he was getting pressure that he had to pay this money. And he's supporting two households at this time. And he is working. And I want to talk a little bit about work, because he had, when one job would stop, he would get another one in between. He's a painter. So if they didn't have a house to paint, he would go and he worked with another person to be working this entire time to support his children and to support these two households. And he does not get subsidy from CPS case. He is the biological dad. He did get custody of his father. And Your Honor, I did go back and look at the sentencing on YouTube, and I couldn't hear everything because I think there was an audio problem. But I think the court had concerns of why he couldn't live with his children. And the concerns were the nature of the offense, and the court wanted to make sure he was not gang affiliated. Those were the two things that the court expressed, say, hey, but we can change that. And you did say that. And according to my client, he is not gang affiliated. They did the gang referral of the gang process.
So you're telling me with the tattoo that he has on the top of his head, that's not gang related? Nobody loves San Antonio that much. I mean, I think San Antonio is a great place to stay, obviously, because I'm here, but usually those are gang affiliations.
But did you do your gang evaluation?
Yes, I did. Yes, ma'am. You ordered it under custody, as a matter of fact.
He had to, and that was correct. He had to stay in custody to do his TAP evaluation, and they were going to do the gang affiliation or
Gang affiliation completed?
Check it out.
Pleaded on the 15th of May last year, Judge.
And what were the results?
Yeah, they determined there was no affiliation.
That's shocking.
Mhm. And he did whisper to me that he is in,
They do custody.
yeah, so he's not with the gang, with any type of gang in the jail.
All right, state, what are you requesting? All right. This is what the court is going to do. I'm going to give you two choices. There are no other choices. These are your only choices. Do you understand?
Understood.
All right. One, I do note that the state was, not this prosecutor, but the previous prosecutor asked for 4 years deferred. So the court placed you on 5 years deferred adjudication based upon my review of everything. So one, I will revoke you, sentence you to 2 years in the prison. Or two, I'll continue you and you're going to be on GPS until further notice, and it'll be GPS for employment only. Which do you prefer?
Can we step back, Your Honor?
Mhm.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.